This meeting is being recorded.
Okay.
Oh,
It's always nice hearing that lady on Zoom say the meeting's being recorded, right?
it's like a bell going off. Magic bell.
Well, welcome to Grue. Thank you so much for coming on again, and I appreciate you taking time out of your night, especially a weekend night.
Oh, hey, it's my pleasure. It's great to be here.
Thank you. Well, the first thing I want to start asking you is like you have a brand new horror film. I think it just recently came out, right, on the 4th.
No, I think it comes out on Tuesday.
Okay. It comes out on Tuesday. I don't know why I saw somewhere it came out on the 4th. I don't know. Okay, well, the film isn't out yet, but it is coming out. So the what I wanted to ask you is like what inspired you to want to write and make Scalper?
Well, we had such a good time on Nightcaller, and then the star Susan Prever, she kind of said, what do you think about doing a sequel? And I'm like, let me think about it. And even though I had a great time, I'm like, I had not done a sequel before. I had written a sequel to my film, The Deep Ones, but I had not yet made a sequel to any of my films. And so, I sat on it for a little while, and then, I said, it clicked for me who the killer would be. And then I'm like, okay, that's interesting. So then, I called her back up and I said, hey, look, if you can go find some money, let's make it. And she went out, found some money, and she said, I've got some money. I'm like, okay, well, I'll start writing the script. The script came quick and fast, and it clicked on all cylinders. And I'm like, okay, let's do this thing. And so we went out and we shot it. Got some, this basically the same crew as Pig Killer. And then I called up Jake Busey and said, hey, Jake, you want to be in this? And he said, sure. Ai Ling was back in it. Kate Patel was in it. So it all came back together. It was a lot of fun.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, because I was gonna say like you definitely have like a lot of great workers on the film, and Jake being on there, of course, and Bay the Ling Bai Ling, she's in so many different horror movies, and everyone knows her when she had her like first big starring role from Brandon Lee to Crow.
Sure.
And ever since then, like she's been on a tear, film after film after film. Like if you look at her IMDb page, there's like a ton of horror films on there.
Yeah, she works a lot. She's a joy. I mean, she really is. She really gets into it, and she's pretty magical.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And what I like about the killer, I love like the whole outfit and the mask, and like how did you design that? Like how did you get that all to come together? With I mean the masks look very very creepy.
Yeah, no, Joe Castro again was on board for the makeup effects, and he really outdid himself. I mean, it's all practical effects all the way through, and the mask was basically, because I knew we already had Bai Ling's face and body mold from Pig Killer, so I'm like, hey Joe, so I wrote it in the script that basically the killer wears Bai Ling's face throughout the film, and he's like, oh, that's perfect. I've already got her head. We'll all just make the mask up right here. So it saved us some money, and it was one of the creepiest things ever. It looks great.
Wow. Okay. So it's funny. Like slashers are like a lot. First, it was Michael Myers with William Shatner's face.
Sure.
Now it's Scalper with Bai Ling's face.
Well, that was definitely an inspiration. That's one of those things where when you know the backstory of Halloween and all that kind of stuff, it's just one of the greatest things. And they could never, for the first 4 sequels or after 3, they could never replicate the damn mask to exactly how it was. And I'm like, if there was an eBay where someone could buy the William Shatner mask and then just make it,
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. It's true. So like you had like no desire to make a second film until it was it was brought to you, right?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. And, it was one of those things where the first film was, not doing that great. So it was kind of one of those things, why make a sequel? But then when she mentioned it, and I thought, well, maybe that'll help boost sales on the first film. So it kind of was kind of a double plus for us to, go forward. And, and it was, again, she was great to work with, and Robert Miano and all the same kind of cast was, when I called them up and said, "Hey, would you be up for being backed for the sequel?" and they all, jumped on it, and that was helpful if people from the first film are willing to come back and do the sequel.
Oh yeah, of course. And where did you film at? Did you film in like the same areas you filmed at for the first film?
Yeah, and it was funny because we filmed, at Susan's house in the valley for the first film, and then she's like, "Well, I'm about to sell that house, so we better hurry." And so we had to scramble and get in there and get out of there before it's sold. So that was kind of put the fire under our ass to get moving and get it done. And it was shot in, again, I think this one was 9 days, and in and out of there.
Wow, that's pretty fast to film a movie, right?
Yeah, no, it's one of those things. Once you get into that kind of business model of saying, well, if we do it in 9 days, we're saving this much money, and if we do it, so it's kind of like, okay, well, let's try to do it in 9 days, and it came off without a hitch. It was great.
Okay. Now, on the last day of filming, when it's the end of the film and it wrapping up and all that stuff, sure. Like, do you and your cast and crew go out and party, go out for dinner? Like, is it? No,
I mean, we're pretty much exhausted from the whole shoot and that entire that day, because most of the days are at least 12 to 13 hours long, yeah. And we're trying to get 10, 12 pages a day and just make that, and then when you finally get to the last day of filming and you've just gone through all that, it's kind of like, see you later. Going home, I'm going to sleep.
yeah. That's a lot of hours, and it's back to back days. So yeah, I kind of get it.
it kind of just and it's one of those things where you're like I want to get to get it kind of away from it after you filmed it, and you just kind of want to clear your head for a few days, because then I got to start editing. So it's one of those things you want to just kind of clear your head. And, I guess if we were close to a bar at any of these locations, we probably would have done that, but no such luck.
Oh, okay. And, the good thing, I mean, there's a lot of good things about the film, but I'm a big fan of like horror and gore and all that stuff. Sure. And this film definitely didn't shy away from the gore. And, so like you said you had the same person for like the special effects for like the gore and the blood and the scalping and all that stuff?
Yeah, no, that's Joe Castro, and he's really the best in the business. He really brings the A game, and he's a lot of fun to work with. And wow. It's being a fan of gore and practical effects, for me, it's one of those things that it's just, that's one of the main reasons of doing it. You want to see stuff that you haven't seen before, or homage the stuff that you love, like whether it be Maniac or Fulci movies or whatever it might be, and just kind of get that in there. And those are the most fun days when you're doing the effects and they come off without a hitch, and you're like, wow, that worked great, and it looks great, and it's gross, and it's it's the hair on the back of your neck standing up. It's fun.
Isn't it funny? Only in a horror movie is it cool to have something gross and bloody and gory, right?
It's great.
I know the film isn't out yet, but I don't even know how you're not going to give anything away with this question, but do you have a favorite kill and scene that you like the best? I mean, I don't know if you want to say it or not because it's not out, but
no, I mean, I really like, without giving it away. I mean, there were elements that, really, for me, other films that I really love, like Zader is a great film that has some great moments. And there's a scene when she's walking through the church and going into, and she finds a body. there's a moment in there that had, a little homage to Zader, whether anyone ever picks that up or not. For me, it's one of those things because that's such an influential film to me. And to throw a little thing in there that is a nod to that film is, for me is just great. And it's one of the standouts for me of making any film. If you can pay homage to the films that inspire you or that you love to watch and rewatch, is just a great little Easter egg to plant in there.
Okay. I'm not going to say anything about the kills or anything, but it is kind of cool for a horror movie and pretty crazy to see scalps.
Yeah, you don't see that much anymore.
No,
Maybe there's going to be a comeback.
Hey, after this movie's out and you see a bunch of actors with their scalps out with blood dripping out, it maybe more horror movies would pick up on that.
Let's hope. We'll get a part 3 going.
Yeah, exactly. What did you love most about making this film?
I guess, getting back to the cast and the crew that I've worked with before, it's just kind of like a family reunion. You get back and with the same people that you like and you enjoy, and they bring their A game, and it helps you bring your A game. It's one of those things. It's a nice comfort zone, and it doesn't feel like a job. It just feels like, a get together with friends, and you just try to be creative and make something that is entertaining.
Nice. And Breaking Glass is actually the one that's putting out the film, and you've worked with them before, right? With Breaking Glass.
Yeah, no, they've been great. I mean, they released my first film that I did long ago called Someone's Knocking at the Door, and then they did Easter Bunny Kill, and we had a good relationship, and we stayed in touch all these years. And then, for whatever reason, Pig Killer really clicked for them, and they loved it, and they put it out, and then we've been on a roll. They've been picking up every film I've been making so far. They are also putting out not only Scalper, but they just got the Blu-ray DVD rights for Nightcaller, and they're re-releasing that. And they're putting out my Lovecraft film, The Old Ones, which is coming out. I think they're putting it out in March. So we're on a roll, They're great.
That's awesome. I love that.
No, they're really, not only a great company, but everyone there loves film, and they really get behind the filmmaker, and they ask, input on the poster design, the artwork, the DVD, the Blu-ray, all this stuff. They're one of the best distributors I've ever worked with, and I can't say enough about them. They do a really good job.
Yeah, they make some really good films, and I know one area they specialize in is actually horror, so that's perfect.
Yeah, no, and then and it's one of those things where you can just tell they love film, so it's just a no-brainer when when they're interested in one of my films. We talk about it and figure out the best way to release it, and then they're always asking, hey, what do you think of this or this? I mean, they're very collaborative, which is a hard thing to find in a distributor.
Yeah, definitely. I think they're Philly based too, right?
Yeah,
they're in Philly, because that's where I live at, in Philly, and I remember seeing that. Yeah, no, they're great, and that's what I like about them. They're away from Hollywood or away from New York. It's kind of they're real thinkers. Yeah, true.
Down to earth.
And are you doing any special screening? Are you going to show the film for cast and crew, private screening and all that stuff?
They're doing a little theatrical run that starts on Friday, this coming Friday. And the one in LA, they're going to be doing a double feature of Nightcaller and Scalper, which should be pretty neat.
That's awesome.
And hopefully, if that does well, they'll move it to other cities, which would be great.
Yeah, definitely. You get to watch the first film and then see what inspired the second film.
Yeah, no, it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I know there was a lot of long nights, like you were saying, 12-hour days. You couldn't wait to go home and sleep.
Right.
Was there any funny or cool behind the scenes stories that happened on set when you weren't tired?
Gosh, it's one of those things when you make, because I'm up to about 2 of these a year, and they kind of all run together. I forget which one was which, but I think on this one it was, on Nightcaller we had, an accident with Steve Railsback, which was pretty horrendous. So I was kind of hoping that it didn't happen on this one. And the only thing that I remember that did happen was we were shooting Bai Ling's scene at the pool in Malibu, which is actually right next to Chris Christopherson's house, which is a little interesting tidbit. And so she's got to run from, the pool into the house, and it's got this marble, beautiful floor out there that's, of course, very slippery. So she's running and she slips into the glass door and just thump, bump, falls on the ground. And I'm like, oh my God, she's broken her skull, or she's going to be, the shoot's over. Everyone's going to be sued. Forget it. But she's like, sits back up and she's like, my ass is hurting, my back's hurting. Let's finish this damn scene. Let's get this done. So she was a total pro, and, didn't, put up a fuss, whereas most, stars would have just said, goodbye, I'm out of here, but she was a pro, and it was one of those things. But again, at the moment that it happens, your heart's in your throat and you're like, oh my God, this is going to end the whole thing. But luckily she was okay, and she continued filming, and we, after 14 hours, we got out of there.
Yeah, when she went back to her room or whatever, she probably was soaking in a tub to get away the pain.
Luckily, since I've seen her, since that we've done a couple films since then, she hasn't mentioned it. So I guess nothing.
Well, good.
There was no permanent back pain or anything. The Epsom salt cured her.
Right? Yes, exactly. And where can fans watch the film and follow it at?
Well, it's going to be streaming, I guess, everywhere. And then Vinegar Syndrome is going to be putting out the Blu-ray and DVD, I think, a month later. So they're kind of tying that up. But if you want to follow, I'm on all the social things. Just type in my name and you'll find me. And I'm always posting when, where, and what's going on with all the movies. And you'll be able to find them, or look up Breaking Glass's website or any of that stuff. Wow.
And was there any reason, because I remember when I interviewed you before about Pig Killer, and was there any recent horror films that you've been watching?
I just rewatched, for the millionth time, Salem's Lot, because the great David Soul just passed away. So it was one of those things of rewatching that, and then I'm listening to it with the commentary from Tobe Hooper, and it's just one of those comfort films that is just so amazing and so good. And when you see, an actor who had passed away, or a director or whatever, it's always nice they live on forever. And it's one of those things that, is just, warms my heart to, and it reminds me of when I was a kid seeing it for the first time on TV, and it's amazing the effect that it had all these years, and the inspiration and the thing. And, it's just one of those things. But so if people haven't seen it before, run out and watch it. Or if you've seen it before, watch it again in memory of, not only David Soul, but also Tobe Hooper and all the other great people who made it.
Yeah. Salem's Lot is amazing. Like that's just so good, and they even made a remake of it too and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, that was good too, but the original is still the best.
Oh, it's amazing! It really and it holds up, which is another phenomenal thing.
Oh yeah, definitely, for sure. Well, I want to thank you so much for coming on and talking about the film. It was nice seeing you again, and I appreciate you taking time out of your Saturday to come on here. Oh, hey, again, great seeing you, and thanks for having me. And we've got another one coming up, so we'll do it again. Oh my God, yeah, 100%. Awesome. All right, buddy. Well, have a good night, and thanks again. You too. See you soon. Bye. Bye. Oh, there.